Yeah, start by congratulating St. Joe's on a terrific season. Thought that was a really tough, competitive team. Um, you know, they've been on the road for like I don't know a week and a half. Had two really good road wins to get here, and so congrats to them for playing great basketball down the stretch. And we feel fortunate to play well and survive that one. I'd also just want to thank the fans. We've easily had the best fans in this tournament to this point, and they came out and we could feel them in the second half. I thought our guys got a little tired too into the first half, and it's been a long season. These guys are continuing to play. Nobody feels 100% at this point in the season, so credit to both players on both teams for just continuing to fight. And then also, in addition to the fans, our administration and all the people who I don't, I'm not even sure I can understand all the work that's going into pushing the rodeo back and that setup that's allowing us to play here today. You know, we would have been in Philadelphia if they hadn't done that. I think that's part of what makes this place special is the kind of support that our program gets and the willingness to do anything to help us and put us in position to be successful. So we couldn't be more appreciative of another opportunity to play here at home. Not every place in the country is going to make that effort to get us a home game here and not have to fly across the country. So, this was a community effort to get this done, and we just are really appreciative of everyone and all their efforts to make that happen for us.
Their second half defense. Well, you guys scored 47 in the second half. What was it that changed? He seemed to think their coach seemed to think you were attacking more and not settling. Did you feel that you guys were settling for some shots on the first half?
I didn't feel that way. I thought we had some we didn't finish. There's probably a few we could have made, didn't. I thought we mostly had pretty good shot quality throughout. I thought the biggest difference was, their shot making fell off. And then that allowed us to run a little bit. If you don't score, then it's harder to get stops. And so I thought it was sort of all connected in that. And we had talked about that at halftime. Hey, if we can just keep playing really hard. They've been on the road for 10 days. They've been on the road for so long. They're at altitude. They're playing big minutes. They had a 19-point comeback in the last game. It's 48 hours later. Like, if we just keep playing, we were skeptical that they could keep making the shots. Like, we felt like that was too much to ask. Their legs would go. And that's a little bit of how it played out in the second half. I thought fatigue was a factor. I think Simpson made his first five and then, 1 for 6 after. I thought the two fouls on the drives early on 11 was helpful, right? He's a really good player. And so him having to sit, there's a lot of things that kind of went our way in the second. And our guys earned those things. Like, it's not like they gave it to us because I thought they competed the whole time. But, I thought we did a nice job in the second half.
You mentioned 2,000, and I want to mention the 22 free throws that you guys attempted in the second half. If you chalk up 60, maybe even 8 of them because they were trying to foul you late because it was, they were trying to stop the clock. They are fourth in the country in fouls committed this year, I think, and they haven't had foul trouble all year. You said, what were you guys able to do to get at least 15 or so of those fouls in the second half?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job of using a lift fake better in the second half. Tom got a couple. Jake got one at the end of the clock to get. I mean, Jake's always using the lift fakes to get himself to the line. But 22 is such a rim presence, and he blocks a lot of shots. I thought Tom did a nice job of getting him in the air a couple times and getting fouls on him. DA and Luke are physical drivers, and they stay pretty attached. They don't bring a lot of help. And so, those guys got real depth on some drives early in the half and just, finished through. And then I thought they had to sort of up their physicality to match that, and maybe that helped us draw some fouls. But I have to look at the film for sure. But it felt like we were driving it with force, and I thought our use of lift fake improved in the second half.
In terms of their lack of shot making in the second half, they said that they felt like they were still getting good looks. Do you chalk it up to it was as simple as they were just fatigued, or what were you able to do defensively to kind of eliminate those shots on the perimeter?
I thought a lot of them were the same shots. And to Simpson's credit, he made like 4 of his first 5, I think, were off the dribble threes. So that's a shot we're typically okay with. At some point we probably need to adjust to that. But I thought they did a really good job of screening us in the first half. We didn't navigate those as well as we wanted, especially when he got to his left. Like, he's real, like, kind of a rhythm guy with left-hand dribble into that jump shot. So maybe we navigated screens a little better, maybe got a few more good contests, but generally I do think, it could have been a little bit of fatigue. And we felt that way. Like, we didn't think their shot making was sustainable relative to maybe the percentages that they've shot on the season. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure they felt like those were good looks, but it's a hard place to make shots when, late in the game.
So, I mean, there's a lot of, teams, fan bases, whatever, that don't really care about the NIT, and you talked about, how much the administration here cares and how much the fan base cares. I mean, you're going to the Final Four of the NIT. Can you just talk about how special that is just for Lobo basketball as a whole?
Yeah, again, we just appreciate that kind of support. We didn't finish our homestand in the regular season the way we would have liked, and so to get a few more, get 3 here at home in front of our fans and play better basketball is something that I know our guys wanted to do.
You mentioned right after the Sam Houston game that you just never really know how these guys are going to perform until they actually get on the court first couple of minutes. But just from the outside looking in, it looks like these guys have completely bought into this tournament and this run that you're on. I mean, how pleased are you to know that these guys are just giving everything they have right down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, we have competitive guys, so that was our expectation. But it's more like we don't know how they're going to start. Like, what's the first 10 minutes of the first game going to look like? We were pretty confident, like, once you start playing, these guys are going to try. And then certainly once you get the first one, you're in it, and so the vibe sort of shifts a little towards just trying to stay together and getting to play one more time. And, we get to practice a few more times, which I like and they don't, but we at least get another game too. So, yeah, we're excited. We're happy to continue to play, and we're playing good basketball.
And then Tom, 3-point shooter, is he the new Jay Call for you? And we saw 2 3-pointers in the first half.
Yeah, I'm glad he made them. He had a couple other jump shots too, So, I mean, he was forced into those relative to the coverage, and I thought he did a nice job of not settling. He could have shot. I mean, he could have shot a bunch more. He's wide open. I thought he did a nice job of managing those possessions, and mixing in some handoffs and rolls, some individual drives, and some jump shots as well.
And your experience with Indianapolis, what's your history there? Have you any memories, anything like that?
No.
Nothing. You've never been there?
I went once for a Final Four whenever it was there the last time, but that's it.
Coach DA, he's obviously was sick. It looked like he was struggling a little bit tonight, but you brought him in. He was obviously a spark plug.
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about it. Like he's dying to be out there. He just couldn't do it on Sunday. He's certainly not 100%. We tried to get him like really short stints and get him out. But he, even in his minutes, I thought he really made a positive impact. Start of the second half, I thought he was terrific. And, we were able to get, some other guys come in and play well, so that we didn't have to overextend him, because it was going to be hard for him to play extended minutes. So, yeah, but I thought he did a great job of just kind of gutting it out tonight.
Eric, whatever the level of excitement might have been or might not have been to play in the NIT, I know there was some decision making. Bottom line is, you're going to the Final Four, you're going to Indianapolis, you're 2 wins away from potentially cutting down nets. The stage is bigger, the lights are brighter. There's got to be some excitement in that room that, man, you're going on a journey that there's, and what's going on in Indianapolis with all the championships, you're going into something that can be really, really special.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be playing this time of year. We're going to be one of the last 8 teams playing basketball, and that's hard to do, whichever tournament you're in. So just proud of our guys. Yeah, everybody's excited. Once we got that first one and you're in the tournament, it's like, yeah, let's keep going. Everybody wants to continue to survive and advance. And, I know we'll have a really good team in the next round, and try to do the same thing, go 1-0 and stay together one more time.
Coach, fundamentally sound is a major cliche, but you talked about the shot fakes. When you put this roster together, or any roster in the past, obviously you look for talent and character, but how important is our fundamentals, just knowing how to play? Kind of
yeah, we're always looking for that. That's sort of knowing how to play, right? You can describe it a lot of different ways. Feel, basketball IQ, like those kind of adjectives for it. Like, we try to evaluate that. It's hard because it's not something objective, and so we look for guys that we think are good passers or play with anticipation, because that's a good indicator. And I think smart wins, and I think we have a smart basketball team.
Coach, it's been a grind these last 48 hours in this tournament. You guys are going to get about a week or so off. How nice is it to get some rest, get guys healthy, and just get back to it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, none of those guys feel good right now. They really toughed that one out. Some of these guys are playing a ton of minutes. Just looking at it, Luke, Uriah, and Jake all played basically 35 minutes tonight. They did the same thing on Sunday. So back to back like that in the quick turnaround. They'll get 2 days and a day and a half, and we'll manage their volume here, and then as we get a little closer to a couple days out from the game, we'll get back into like our normal routine. But yeah, we certainly want to prioritize rest, recovery in this rest of this week.
Yeah, it was awesome. By far the most fans at any NIT game. Super special. Oh, wait a second.
Someone's happy.
Talia. Not to call her out or anything. But can't be more thankful. The whole year, not even just this NIT, like for them to show up for us each and every night. And I know they had a lot of disappointment after we didn't make the tournament as well, but for them to respond this way, and that's why we play. A big reason is we play for them, and so super thankful.
Yeah, like Luke mentioned, I appreciate the fans for like showing up. Although it's NIT, like they came and bring us support. That's why I think like we won these games because of them. And of course, we stayed together as a team. And I appreciate everybody. Like it's not easy to bounce back after like some disappointment, but we got our heads up and we knew what we need to do to win these games. And I'm happy about the squad because we can play some more games, hopefully 2 more games together. And we didn't want to like finish the season in like a bitter taste, so we just kept practicing, showing up every day, and like then the fans give you the push in the back, and you win games.
That's a team that's statistically speaking really, really good defensively overall, especially against like effective field goal percentage and all that. But what they're really good at, fourth in the country, is they don't foul. Tonight, you guys got 28 free throw attempts. What were you guys able to do? I know a lot of them were at the end. I get that, but like you guys got 22 free throw attempts in the second half. What were you able to do to take them out of their usual defense where they don't foul?
Yeah, we were just really aggressive downhill tonight, I thought. In the first half, the first couple minutes, we were getting to the basket at ease, and then they made an adjustment and kind of started denying. And we got out of our rhythm a little bit. The second half, we got back to being really aggressive downhill, and we got a lot of guys that it's hard to guard when you decide you're going to go take it to the rim. And so we saw the result of that is they had to foul sometimes, which helped us a lot.
Follow up to that, which one of you guys on the team? We know Jake. Some people call him shot fake Jake. You had some shot fakes today. You obviously do it quite a bit. Where's the best shot fake on the team?
I got to give it to Jake. He does it like every possession, so it's got to be him.
It's automatic.
Yeah.
Tom, first of all, you have some marks in your face. Where'd you get those from?
I mean, when you play rough like that, you get some, from a couple of games. So, I mean, they foul you sometimes. Sometimes they don't call it, but you just got to play through everything. It doesn't matter, like scratch or whatever.
So those are from tonight?
I mean, not tonight, from last game.
Okay. The both of you came from a lower elevation. So when you got here during the summer, you experienced what it's like to play at 5,200 feet. You're used to it now. What did they experience when they first got here?
Yeah, I mean, one of the guys asked me if it was at elevation, which I'm surprised he didn't know that already with what he was feeling and kind of what we say before the game. But, yeah, I mean, it's not easy, and it makes us better being at this elevation. But when teams come in, it's a huge advantage.
I don't remember the first practice when I got here. I arrived late. They were like getting used to it a little bit. I remember it was really, really bad. It took me like 2-3 weeks to adjust. I ran one time and it was over. Like, yeah, but like it helps you, like once you get to sea level, like you feel like you can hoop all day, play a game, I don't know, 50, 60 minutes, it doesn't matter. But for the opponents, like it's tough to come here, like not only altitude, also the fans, and with everything combined, like it's really tough, especially like second half. Okay, first half, like you're a little bit fresh, but second half, like it can wear them down for somebody who's not like used to it.
Now, college basketball, the center of the college basketball universe is going to be Indianapolis next week. D2, D3, the actual Final Four, and you guys. I mean, how exciting is the trip to Indianapolis? And first of all, do you guys have any experience having been there at all?
I've never been to a Final Four, so this
I'm
is.
Indianapolis at all. Have you been there?
I've been there once for some AAU tournament. I don't really remember where or what it was, but super excited to go to the Final Four. Super excited to keep playing. I was a D2 guy, so maybe I get to watch a few of those D2 games and kind of reminisce a little bit. But it's exciting, and we're ready to go.
I mean, I arrived in July for my first time in the States, so I didn't go to Indianapolis. It's going to be fun to experience something new for sure.
Hey, how's it feel? I mean, you guys finished, 26-10? I mean, this is a brand new roster, a brand new coach. Did you expect this kind of success? I mean, you're going to Indianapolis now. What a way to finish your senior year. I mean,
Yeah. No, like you said, unbelievable way to finish my college basketball career. I don't know if I was necessarily expecting it, but I knew we had a super talented roster and great coaching staff and great support from the university and fans. So I'm not surprised that the season's gone this way and that we've had this much success this year, because all those things combined make for a great team.
Anything else for these guys?
well, I was going to ask you that question.
For me, it was like, I mean, they were a little bit earlier, but we prepared the whole summer, worked our like ass off. So we knew that we're just gonna go game by game. You know, we knew at the beginning of the season, okay, we're gonna struggle a little bit because we are a completely new team. But like, I think like we were bonding throughout like every other game, and especially like I think like you learn the most when you like lose some games, when it doesn't taste sweet. So like when we bounce back from that, I feel great for the team, and like I appreciate them because it wasn't easy to survive till now. And I mean, we finished in the pit. We don't play games here, but our season not finished yet. We have, I hope, 2 more games, so we just got to prepare again, get some rest, and go to Indianapolis and win.
We ask coaches all the time about players that had good games and ask them to describe you guys. Next week in Indianapolis, Eric Olen's a guy that's obviously a lot of schools like Eric Olen and know about him and can have their eyes on him. What's the world going to see that maybe they haven't yet in Eric Olen that maybe we don't know about yet that you guys learned this season?
I'd always kind of seen him from afar, being both of us in San Diego. And I think just the person he is, he truly cares about each of his players and wants us to be the best version of ourselves. So I think that's one of the most important things in coaching, and he does a great job at that.
To not repeat what Luke said, I think like it's just hard work, you know, like even if you win, like you're not the best, and when you lose, you're not the worst. You just keep like stacking days, day after day, not like thinking, no, we won a couple, I don't know, 7-8 games in a row and then like relax. Like you're never relaxed. You need to like really be focused every time, every practice you need to lock in. So I think like that like makes you mentally really, really tough. Although like, you know, it's been a long season, a couple guys were injured, so other guys need to like maybe practice more, play more in the games, the minutes, and then like it's not easy to combine that with school too. But like we're not gonna make excuses. We just need to keep working, stacking days, like I said, and then like the outcome's gonna be great.
Tomislav, I'm not sure your feet left the floor on those outside shots you made. Have you changed anything? How confident are you with your outside shot right now?
Right now, I feel like very confident, and I gotta give the shout out to our assistant coach Mikey, who I've been working with lately, because he was a guard, so I was working almost every day with him to improve the things that I lack, and I think like right now, it's showing up.
And I got one more thing. Our managers are about to beat Kentucky in the voting poll. So anybody out there that's watching, go vote for our managers so we can get them playing in Indianapolis as well.
Yeah, this has been an amazing 3-game run in this tournament. And for 2.5 games, we won. And I give New Mexico credit, really. A great basketball team. And we're disappointed with our second half effort. Thought we'd let things go away, in particular early. But I can't be more proud of a group of guys and what they did this year. And I think you saw that the toughness that they exhibited throughout this whole game as well.
Questions from the student athletes? The player. Either one of you guys. The pit gets a higher attendance in the regular season than it did tonight, but that was still allowed 8,000 out there tonight. And for an NIT game, they've led the NIT all 3 of their games have been the 3 highest attendances. I'm curious how much that crowd tonight maybe affected the game, or what you guys thought of the crowd in any way for an NIT game?
Yeah, it was great for an NIT game. You don't expect crowds like that when you go on the road in NIT. Obviously, we've only had 1,000 people in the past 2 games. It was a great environment to play in. I think, we haven't had an environment like this all season, and it was just fun, man. And I'm glad we got to experience this as a group.
The pit's also at a mile high, and I'm curious how much that second half, when you guys felt you didn't play at your best, how much of that was an altitude thing coming from sea level 2 days ago and playing at altitude tonight?
I think we just our group of guys we're used to just persevering, and the big thing for us is enduring. So I think the second half it was just we didn't play well. I don't think the altitude had anything to do with it. It was just we didn't figure it out as a group at the end. So.
Derek, question for you. You had 16 points in the first half, really got downhill. The second half of looks didn't come as easy. What changed for you offensively?
Thought I had a lot of good shots. They just didn't fall. I think they changed their scout on me a little bit. They started hedging up and stuff like that, which is a credit to them for adjusting. We figured it out a little bit, but we didn't figure it out all the way. And as a group, like, all I can ask is that we tried, and we did that. And it just sometimes when you try, it don't work.
Coach, I want to ask you a little bit more about the road trip. All right, I'll start with you guys. You crossed the Rocky Mountains twice. You're on the Pacific Coast. You're playing at altitude. You're playing road games every time. How challenging was this thing? Because aside from that, you're still student athletes. You have school stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. So we pretty much had like study hall every day, but I think it was a really incredible experience. Just like if we think about all the adversity we faced as a group this entire season, and just getting to spend this time together to bond as a team. I think at first it was a little bit of traveling, but once we really just got in the mindset of trying to win games, it became like a very connecting experience for the guys. So.
I think it allowed us to have some deep conversations with each other in the hotels because we were stuck with each other for a good week. Nothing but fun, man. I love the guys. I love this group. I love this coaching staff. And it was just nothing but fun to be on this road, get 2 wins, and come here and just battle.
Safe to assume that neither one of you have been to Albuquerque before.
No, sir.
So I'm just curious. You get off an airplane. I'm assuming yesterday, right? You arrived in Albuquerque yesterday. Mm-hmm. Like, how exhausted are you when you get off an airplane and you're in a place you've never seen before? Everything's kind of culture shock.
Super culture shock. Super fun area. Super fun city to be in. I think us going to Colorado State really helped us, prepared us a little bit for this environment because we've never been in the altitude on the East Coast as much. But just the road trip coming here was just fun, and being able to play here was just an amazing experience.
Guys, on the note of playing it, there's this mantra that if it's not the NCAA, then you don't want to play. Obviously, you did want to play. Your teams opted out. As you look back on it, I'm going to assume you're really glad you played it. And the thought process, was there ever any hesitance to want to play in this tournament?
No, I think I'm speaking for Derek and I. Like, when we got the opportunity to play one more game as a team, like after we've been through, we really want to do it. So I think it was just the opportunity to keep playing with this group was what kept us going. And I wish we had one more, but we definitely gave it all we had. So yeah, for sure.
You guys are good.
Thank you.
You guys
Good job, fellas.
Note out there while the players are still in the room, since the conversation of being on the road has been brought up. Since the NIT expanded to 32 teams in 1980, so we're talking 46 years, St. Joseph is only the 13th team to get to the quarterfinals without a home game.
Coach, you have been here before. What was your warning to this team about what to expect about the pit?
I think I've been here 5 times. I was here as an assistant at Penn, head coach at Cornell, head coach at Penn. I told them, like, it's arguably the best. Outside, I love the palestra, but like the part of the pit's charm is the people are nuts about Lobo basketball. So that's part of it. And then talked about a Final Four game here that Jim Valvano running around after they beat 5 Slam and Jam and all the history. And obviously it hurts right now. It stings that we lost, but they're going to remember that experience. Like, that was, fighting to go to the Final Four, the NIT. And I know we talk about the NIT as it's before the NCAA expands. Let's think about it. There's 365 schools. And right now there's 24 before this left playing. So it's still a real good honor, in particular in mid-major leagues, that the math doesn't work for us anymore. The Biggies loaded up their schedules and switched out the conferences to 18 and 20 teams, and it's going to be hard for teams like us to get to the NCAA tournament. And when we feel we're good, like a road win at ACC school, to get here, those are great accomplishments for these guys that they'll never forget.
A couple days ago, Chris was in here from George Washington. Chris Caputo was in here talking about 3 freshmen for the Lobos. They are I think the only team with 3 freshmen averaging double figures. Tomislav Buljan, I know he's a non-traditional freshman, but we're talking 24, 27 and 11 tonight, and then Jake Hall, a traditional freshman, 24 tonight. I'm curious what you think about those 2 freshmen, and are you surprised that freshmen are able to do that?
And the other kid is a freshman too. Honestly, it's hard to talk about the kid that played in Croatia for 6 years professional as a freshman. I respect his game. He's a hell of a player. The other 2 kids, in particular Hall, very impressive. I saw him in high school. He's the type of kid you like in high school. And then you try to nail, like, what level can he be? And sure enough, coach took him from San Diego, and he could play at any level. He's legit. We have a very young team outside of these 2 guys. In this day, you hope that it's something you can grow from this experience, and they stay St. Joe Hawks, as I'm sure coach feels they stay in the New Mexico program. That's what you hope.
Coach, Jaden Glover-Toscano had done a good job on Jake Hall in the first half. Got his 4th foul early in the second half. How big a factor was that for your defense?
I thought fouling in general was a huge step. Then going to the foul line 28 times. I think we're 4th in the country in least amount of fouls. So this is something we have not experienced all year. Literally no foul trouble all year. I give that credit to New Mexico. I thought, in particular, second half, they started really driving the ball. I thought they stopped settling for shots like they did in the first half. And we didn't react well enough. And that was a big part. He's a really good 2-way player. He can guard almost anybody on the perimeter of the country. And it hurt us. It was hard. And I thought they took advantage of it.
Coach, your season comes to an end here in the NIT quarterfinal. You guys battled adversity. You stepped up as head coach a couple weeks before the season, and then won 9 out of your last 11. Just can you comment on how your group came together at the end of the year?
I told those guys I've been a head coach for 25, been in college almost 40 years, and all the stuff that we dealt with as a program. Jill Bodensteiner having the courage to hire me, and then it still was a lot to overcome. There was some hurdles, me jumping in. And what I said to them, they were all willing to give me a chance, and then we gave each other a chance. And the credit goes to the infrastructure that Billy Lang set up. We have a great group of GAs and assistant coaches and an amazing trainer. All those things help us do what we did. And I've never experienced a season like this, and I couldn't be more proud of that group.
Coach, you talked about the challenges for mid-majors, teams like your league, Mountain West, to get in the tournament. Are these the kind of games maybe, and I understand the geography, that should be scheduled more November, December. I know New Mexico played a home with VCU, but these sorts of games with high-performing teams in these leagues to maybe help profile and get some of those opportunities that Howard schools will give you?
I absolutely agree with you. And it's difficult for someone like St. Joe's to say, name a score. They're not going to play it. If in particular, they may. And then I'm saying high majors.
No, but they have the same problem.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. So something's got to be had. Like, I'm an analytics nerd, but like you're making all these assumptions that these teams are good because they play each other all the time. And I say this a couple of years ago. Princeton was a 15. They beat Arizona and Missouri pretty handily, and they were 15. It wasn't that they were 15 based on who their talent says they were. It's what the numbers said. I watched the St. Joe's team the last year because Billy was a friend of mine. I watched a lot of the SEC. they were the same teams, a couple of teams that got in at 6-12 last year. That St. Joe's team plays them on a neutral court 10 times. It's an even game. The numbers will never say that. I don't know. We're going to try to play as many teams as we can. But still, that will be 3 or 4 quad ones, where SEC is going to play 12 and 13. But somehow, as a basketball NCAA, we got to figure this out.
That's why I'm saying do play some of these kind of games.
Of course.
And I get it's cross country and geography, but they help the metrics.
I agree. And we got some other ideas too, but I totally agree with you.